Hello, today we're going to be talking about linear functions, specifically writing and graphing linear functions in various forms. And a few things I wanted you to take away from this unit, or this portion of the unit 4 that we're in, would be when you're looking at different forms and what they correlate to. So first, I want to make sure that you know what the forms look like. So first we have slope-intercept form. Hopefully you've heard that enough to know, oh, Ms. Clark, that would be, let's match it to B. Standard form, now you haven't heard much about standard form. The standard form is another way of writing a line. It is AX plus BY equals C, where A is a positive integer, B is an integer, and C is an integer. And then finally, point slope form, where the only one that we have left is y minus y1 equals the slope multiplied by x minus x1. So all these forms can be written and graphed given certain information. So slope-intercept form can be written and or graphed when given the slope and the y-intercept. And you're very, very familiar with that. And again, that is the slope-intercept form. Now, when we're talking about standard form is specifically used when we want to determine the x-intercept and the y-intercept. And when you know both of those, you can still graph. Not a problem. And then point slope form. Basically, with point slope form, it can be written and or graphed when given at least one point and the slope. Now sometimes you're going to have to find the slope, and you would do that by using the slope formula. And remember that with point slope form, the x1 and the y1 that you see here are the x1 and y1 ordered pair. And that just means that these two given values are a point on the line. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we might graph these. Now I have three graphs here. Y minus 3/2 x, or y equals negative 3/2 x plus 3. We know that form. That is slope-intercept form. Then we have 3x plus 2y equals 6. Now, this one is standard form. And then here we have y minus 6 is equal to negative 3/2 times x plus 2. And that is point slope form. Now, this got kind of shifted over, but that's okay, we can still use it. What we're going to do is go ahead and graph. So I've given you some clues down here on how to graph. When you're graphing slope-intercept form, the first thing you're going to do is plot the y-intercept. And remember that B is the y-intercept. So you're going to plot that first. So I'm going to plot 3, and then I'm going to apply the slope. So from the y-intercept here, we're going to graph the line using the slope. Well, here I have negative 3/2. So what that's telling me is to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over to the right 2, and place my point there. Now that I have those 2 points, I can go ahead and just graph my line. Remember, it only takes 2 points to make a line. That's especially important when you get to geometry, because I know sometimes we like to graph a lot of points, but it's not always necessary. Now, on this one we have 3x plus 2y equals 6. So I'm going to write that down below here. 3x plus 2y equals 6. Now, for standard form, what I'm looking for is the x and y intercept. And remember, the x-intercept always has a number in place of x, but 0 in place of y. That's because I only go right or left, not up or down. Then I'm going to solve for y by covering up x, because that ordered pair will be 0 and some number. So let me show you how that works. Now, I'm solving for x. So what I really want to do is I want to pretend like the y term is 0. That is what I mean by cover it up. When I cover it up, it's assumed that's 0. So I would write 3x is equal to 6. Well, when I solve that, I know I'm dividing by 3 on both sides of the equation. Therefore, x is equal to 2. And the ordered pair that I would graph would be 2, 0. Then, when I want to solve for y, I cover up the x term. So the x term is gone now, and what I have left is 2y is equal to 6. Well, if I divide by 2 on both sides of the equation, I get y is equal to 3. Therefore, that ordered pair will be 0, 3. So I can come over here and say, okay, 2, 0 would be the first point, and then 0, don't go left or right, 3, go up or down, so I'm going up 3, and I only, again, need 2 points to graph a line. My makeshift ruler here. All right, so that is from standard form. Now let's look at graphing from point slope form, which is this form. The formula for slope form is y minus y sub 1 is equal to the slope multiplied by x minus x sub 1. Now keep in mind, this is the formula or the equation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this under it. I've got y minus 6 equals negative 3 over 2 x minus negative 2. Here it was a plus. So in order to get a plus, I have to minus a negative. So my points then would be negative 6, because that's y1, and x1 is actually negative 2. So when I write this point, my slope again is negative 3 over 2, and my point, I write my x first, is negative 2 and positive 6. So if you notice, if you're looking at just this right here, I really took the opposite of what I saw. I saw a positive 2 here, so I knew that my x term was negative 2. I saw a negative term here, so I knew that my y term was positive 6. So you can certainly think about it from that point. So we've done the first thing, we've determined the point given. Now we're going to plot that point. So I've got negative 2 up 6. Well, you're like, Ms. Clark, you don't have a 6, so we can kind of estimate there. And from that point, I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 2. Then I'm going to go down, and just for the sake of making my line straight, 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2. And then down, 1, 2, 3, and over 2. And then I'm going to use my makeshift ruler here to draw this line. Now hopefully what you have noticed about each one of these is that each equation represents the same line. They're just written differently. And that's why we have these lines, because sometimes one is better than the other, or the use of one is better than the other. So what we're going to do during the rest of this unit is explore how we can use these different lines, how we can transform them, how we can make them one into the other, and use them for our best purposes. See you later.